I would like to ask you all to rise. We're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance and then remain standing for words of inspiration.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. If you bow your heads, please. Heavenly Father, I ask that you bless each individual present tonight in these chambers, those who are serving, those who will serve in the future, and those who have come to share their thoughts. Lord, we know that there is frustration in this room, and we also know that you have not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. May we use these tools to honor you in our decisions and in our actions. Please make our hearts and minds quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. I ask that you change the mindset of this community. Let us put the harshness behind us and focus on our similarities and our desire to better our community. Let our thoughts echo Philippians 4:8, that whatsoever things are true, whatever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, that we think on these things. We know that every good gift and every perfect gift is from above. Tonight, let us find joy in our service, peace in our righteousness that comes only from you, and guide us to make decisions that will honor you and best serve our community. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
We'll have no talking from the gallery, please. First up on our agenda, we have a roll call, please.
Councilmember Anderson?
Here.
Mayor Milan?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Moffett?
Present.
Councilmember Scott?
Here.
Councilmember Shepherd?
Here.
Thank you. We are here. Would someone like to make a motion to approve our agenda?
Madam Mayor, I move that that we approve the agenda as presented.
Support.
Thank you. Roll call, please, Michelle.
Councilmember Anderson?
Yes.
Mayor Milan?
Yes?
Mayor Pro Tem Moffett?
No.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd?
Yes.
Thank you. We've approved our agenda. The next item we have on our agenda is public comment for items on the agenda. If you would like to speak to items on the agenda, we ask you to come to the podium. We'll ask that you state your name and your address. We'll allot you 3 minutes, and we ask that you keep it civil. Thank you.
My name is Darlene McDaniel. I've lived in Clawson 79 years. This meeting is so wrong. It's so, for so many reasons. It's a slap in the face not only to me, but to all the citizens and voters in Clawson, but especially to our new mayor and our new council. The voters have a great confidence with them, and they aren't even given a chance on these matters. I don't know how any of you sleep at night calling this meeting tonight. It's just another stunt. And personally, Mayor Milan, you call yourself a Christian. Well, in my view as a Christian, actions speak louder than words, and your actions are not very Christian-like. And as for you, Mr. Scott, I understand there's a great possibility that you're going to be taking over Mayor Pro Temp's spot because you were the next in line on the voters. And I'm just asking you that you better think about what the citizens want tonight before you vote. And as far as, my notes are crazy. I feel that these contracts extensions aren't necessary at this time. None of them expire, especially the city managers for 4 years. And I'm hoping that you will table that one especially and let the new council and new mayor decide on what is best for this community. I just would like to say that his contract, not only doesn't expire till 2029, but I think several of the requests that he's asking for are totally outrageous. And if it passes, I think it'll be a great detriment to the city of Clawson. And I just would like to remind you that if these things go through tonight, at least in my opinion, you will go down as the worst mayor and worst city council that Clawson has ever had.
Scott Manning, 442 North Marias. First, I'd like to thank the council, all the members of the council, and Mayor for the service you have offered to the community. I'm coming to urge you to not take action on the city manager contract, to have more conversation about that. I'm particularly of concern when we pay somebody when they are terminated for cause. I don't believe we have that at the moment, but putting it in a contract where we pay somebody for cause, to me, is very problematic. Coming from the religious community and having dealt with people who have been terminated from positions that are quite egregious, I would hope we would never have to pay them to benefit for something that was egregious. So I urge you to postpone that matter and to have further conversation about what is fair in a contract for our city manager and what is fair for the city. I don't believe paying for the termination of cause, having to pay 6 months or a year of salary and benefits, is justifiable in that case. I believe what is justifiable is making sure that our city manager has a fair contract, is given a fair opportunity, and that we continue to move the city forward. Again, I want to thank our outgoing members of City Council for the service that you have provided to the community. And I believe your legacy will move forward if you don't take action to give money for firing for cause cases on our manager or any employee of the city.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Julia Beatty, 159 North Bywood Avenue. Thank you for having this meeting tonight. I am, though, disappointed to have to speak at a hastily called Thursday evening meeting during a lame duck council session. Major appointments and decisions with lasting consequences are being rushed through tonight, decisions that rightfully belong to the newly elected council taking office next week. I'm especially concerned about the city manager contract provisions being considered this evening. While Mr. Recker is within his rights to request contract modifications, and my comments are not a reflection of his individual leadership, he's actually a very honest leader, I must address the problematic precedent that it sets. The proposed provision guaranteeing a full year salary with benefits and vesting, even in cases of termination with cause, is deeply troubling. This sends a dangerous message that Clausen will compensate city leadership regardless of performance or ethical violations. No employment contract should reward misconduct or protect employees terminated for the for a full year with compensation. This is not a standard practice, and it should not become our standard. The timing is equally concerning. Making this consequential decision just 4 days before the majority of the dais leaves office is frankly the epitome of a lame duck governance. I have met many of you personally. I believe you are all good people who really care about the city. I had hoped that you would conclude your service with integrity, but rushing this decision tonight does not reflect that. I urge you, postpone the vote. Allow a newly elected council, the representatives voters just chose to lead us, to make decisions that will impact our city for years to come. That is what responsible governance looks like. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, council members, first of all, thank you for your service. I'm here tonight because I've been told by most of your voters that you guys are good and honest, reasonable people.
Excuse me. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but please state your name and address for the record.
I thought that we decided the address wasn't necessary, but my name is Brent Wellman. I live at 63 West Tacoma, Clausen, 30 years resident. Thank you very much. So back to the subject at hand. I'm told you're reasonable people. I'm told that if we would have come to you in time to express our concerns about the special election, that you would have done the right thing. Look before you. Look at this room full of people. We're telling you what we want right now. I urge you not to take motion on any of these items that are not expired or are any of your business taking motion on. I'm beyond frustrated, as are many of the residents here tonight, and I just want to appeal to your sense of good that you claim to have and just ask that you do the right thing. That's all there is to it. I'm not going to stand here and lecture you on right or wrong because you all know what you're doing is wrong. Everyone in this room knows what they're doing is wrong. You can shake your head at me all you want, but that's not the case. I will say right now, while I have the remainder of my time, if the names on this dais were Scripture and George's, there would be a lot different reaction from the people that are sitting up there. This is not acceptable by any means, and I'm glad to see you all leaving at the end of this term.
Sorry, is the mic on? Ashley Bueller, 1108 West Elmwood. I just want to start off by saying, like, I have a toddler at home. I'm busy. National politics are scandalous all year. It's like hard to keep up with the national news, let alone like the local news. But here I sit at a city council meeting called like 24 hours ago while my husband's at home doing the bedtime routine. There's no contracts up. No one's in dire need to be appointed. Yet this special meeting just got called. When I emailed, I think 4 of you, I got 2 responses, Glenn and Paula. Neither responses are even worth mentioning. Clausen voted you out. We did not trust you to run our city. When the people you serve try and hold you accountable, you take it as personal attacks. You serve us. I'm against any extending, amending, or appointing happening today. It's not needed. It's clear you're just trying to keep allies in as long as possible and as many spots as possible. Most of you will not be here next week. Your last meeting, a special last-minute one, is not the time to discuss major changes in anything, especially the city manager's contract or stripping the new mayor from any future appointments. The people of Clausen will still see you around all over the city. Most of us will have this meeting on our mind. You obviously, you get to decide. You don't have to listen to us. But do you want to ignore the people that you represent? Do you want to leave office on a scandalous stunt or with a shred of dignity? Because the last election, if the last election didn't show you, the people of Clausen are paying attention and we're watching you.
Hi, Jamie Gills, Takanochi. It's clear from everything that you have done since March and before that you don't care what the residents think or about the financial responsibilities that you have. I'm gonna give it one last shot. I've watched you up here rolling your eyes and smirking at the other people. I'm sure I'll get the same response. But I am here tonight to speak against actions taken by a lame duck council in its final days. Actions being pushed through at a special meeting called only a day before. The common thread between the city manager's contract and these appointments is a pattern of you voting as a block, rushing things through, and not showing transparency. This is an abuse of process and another clear power grab. You just can't let it go. That's your lost. First, regarding the city manager's contract addendum. The city manager has an ample existing compensation package. This addendum, which increases benefits and critically equalizes the financial payout for termination with cause and without cause, is fiscally irresponsible and deeply concerning. By having a 6-figure payout for an employee who is terminated for cause, You erode the city's ability to hold this high-level employee accountable for any work that they do. City manager could be negligent, grossly mismanage the city, or even commit a felony, and we get to pay him 6 figures. That's fabulous. How does that make any sense to you? Any of you? This addendum must not be approved by a council that is literally on its way out the door. Secondly, your rush to put people in appointments. You know, you were just defeated, and instead of accepting that gracefully and with love and Christian values, which you all claim to have, you do this crap. You know, not only that, but this spits in the face of democracy. You were voted out for a reason, and you weren't even close, okay? The city was sending you a message, and you don't care. I hope none of you want to serve the city again, because Clausen remembers. So I urge you to do the right thing. I have no doubt you won't, but I urge you to do it anyways. Thank you.
I'm going to be loud because I want everyone to hear this. I had no idea what Jimmy was going to say tonight, but
Would you
on the
please
heels...
state your name and address for the
Oh,
record?
I'm sorry,
Thank you.
Maxine Stein, 312 Pear.
Thank you.
On the heels of what she just said, I want you to listen to this because I wish this is what we were all here for tonight. I found this quote, and I'm sorry that the 4 people standing up on that dais could not be here for this. I ran this campaign because I love my hometown and the people that make it so great. I will never forget the memories or the lessons I've learned as a candidate. I'll never forget the stories of hope people shared with me. When we all work together, we can truly change the future. I am conceding the race because I believe in election integrity and being a leader, even when things don't go my way. Whatever the future has for me, I know that I have so much support behind me and love from those I care the most about. Whatever you all decide to do next, always do it with love and kindness. And then I have this to say. I cannot stand grown mean girls. We are not in high school anymore. We are grown women with real battles, real scars, and lives that we all have to rebuild. So if you're still gossiping, tearing down, or getting caught up in petty games, you're not strong. You're small and insecure. Go to therapy, work that crap out. Strong women don't compete. They support, they uplift. They celebrate each other's successes. We've all been there. We've all been through enough. Let's be the reason another woman succeeds. And for Mr. Riker, first time I ever stepped to this podium, I knew there was something different about you. I didn't know what it was, but I do now. Leopards never change their spots, or as I like to say, skunks never give off a different smell.
Good evening. I'm Teresa Jackson, 465 North Washington in Clausen. And a lot of my thoughts have been expressed here. But I was thinking as I was getting ready to come over here about the idea of if something were to happen, and I'm not suggesting that I have this opinion of the city manager, but if we were to be in a situation where we had to terminate for cause and we were paying all that money, my question is, how would we afford to hire a new city manager if we're paying a year of 6 figures to someone who was terminated for cause or not cause, but, you know, that just doesn't make sense. We don't have that kind of money in Clawson. So that was the thing that I just wanted to make everybody think about, like, what would we do? Can't have 2 city managers making the same amount of money, right? We don't have that budget. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is George Georges. I live at 322 Bauman in Clawson, Michigan, and I've been there for about 13 years. The little title of my presentation is Protecting Clawson's Financial Integrity and Preventing Lame Duck Contract Changes. All right. I have spent time reviewing the city's infrastructure bond calculations. I have discovered the $65 million bond proposal did not include inflation in its 10-year construction estimates. This submission creates an estimated $13 million shortfall, meaning the city cannot accomplish the amount of road, water, and sewer work that was presented to the residents. This is not a minor oversight. Accurate financial modeling is the foundation of public budgeting, capital planning, and responsible bond management. By failing to include inflation, a standard requirement in every large-scale infrastructure plan, the city manager, your planning commission, the city council presented numbers that overstated the work that can be completed and understated the true cost of the project. Equally troubling is that the outgoing city council, after being defeated by the voters, I repeat that, defeated by the voters, okay, has now scheduled a special council meeting to remove penalties for mismanagement from the city manager's contract. If approved, this action would insulate the administration from accountability and very moment serious financial errors that come to light. This lame duck last-minute contract change that undermines public trust and blocks the newly elected council who earned their mandate from the voters. And again, I said earned the mandate from the voters, okay, from exercising appropriate oversight. Residents deserve transparency, accountability, and governance that puts the long-term financial health of Clawson first. And every one of you were running on that thing of council first, Clawson first. All right? Any action that shields officials from consequences, especially when tied to a multi-million-dollar miscalculation, is unacceptable and contrary to the public interest. For these reasons, I call for 1, full public disclosure of the inflation error and its impact on the bond. 2, immediate postponement of any contract modifications until the newly elected council is seated. Number 3, independent review of bond modeling, assumptions, and underground infrastructure costs.
It's time, Mr. Georges.
That's fine. I'm going to keep going.
No,
So just sit.
you're not going to keep going.
Restoration of accountability protections within the city manager's contract.
Your time is up.
Clawson residents have spoken clearly
Sergeant
through
of
the
Arms, would you
election.
like
Point
to
of order.
Now it is
escort
time.
Point of order.
Mr. Georges out of
order.
our chambers for
What's
not
that?
cooperating?
I didn't hear what you said.
Your time is up, Mr. Georges. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us today.
Okay.
It means a lot to us, but you'll have to come back another time to finish. Thank you.
One last word.
Your time is up.
13 million's on you.
Pardon me? I'm sorry, Mr. Georges, you wasted that. I wasn't able to understand you. Could we have order in this room? You people want to take this seriously? Good evening.
Can you restart will you restart it for me?
Could you restart his clock, please? Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Attorney Michael Stein, My address is 3119 Woodland Ridge, West Bloomfield, Michigan. This is disgusting what you guys are doing. I mean, you drag everyone in here on a Thursday. Everyone's got kids, jobs, everything is hard right now, and you drag everyone in here for a special meeting to extend a contract for 2 more years to 2031 for no particular purpose, on top of what else you want to add. I'd love to know who came up with those provisions. Did you come up with them yourself? Just pass them on to your buddies and say, here, this is what I want? What about you, city attorney? Did you look at this? Did you weigh in on those? Who pays somebody the same amount of money to get terminated with cause as without cause? That is a breach of any fiduciary duty you guys have to this board and to the city and to these people. And to try to jam this through before you leave, I mean, this is stuff they did in the 1800s. I mean, brazen. Like, I practice law. I go into cities all over the state. I've never seen anything like this, what you guys are trying to do, and how you're doing it out in the open. And I'd like to congratulate this entire city for showing up to tell you exactly how they feel, right? So I don't know. You're probably not going to listen to anything anyone has to say. But it is absolutely disgusting, and you guys are going to have to walk around this city, and I hope that everyone lets you know how shameful you are by doing something like this. The idea that you would try to jam this through as you guys all got voted out is a joke. That is an absolute joke. You guys lost. You're going to stick this with another council that's coming in. You know they have their own agenda. Why would you stick that contract with them? Let it stay in place, and if they want to have a conversation about extending it, let them do it. You're on your way out. You lost. It's absurd. You guys really need to think about what you guys are doing and what you're doing to these people and the citizens, and I think you should really take a look at who showed up here on a Thursday night. I cannot believe that you guys would sit up there with these smug looks on your face like you are actually helping anyone. It's a joke. You guys better take a good look at what you're doing and think about it before you make a vote. And I'm telling you right now, when you guys do dumb shit like this, it's guys like me that they send to fix it, right? It's lawyers like me that they bring in to show you when you've done something wrong. I promise you that. You keep playing stupid games, you're going to win stupid prizes. I promise you that. And I'm sorry to you guys. I'm sorry you guys have to deal with this. I'm sorry you guys have to deal with this. Shame on you guys. Shame on you guys.
Kathy Phillips, Hendrickson and Clausen. I've been a 45-year resident. I have worked in this council chamber in one capacity or another since Mayor Aris was our mayor. I spent 10 years on this city council. I had to withdraw to run against Paula for mayor. I had to stop politicking for mayor due to health reasons. So I was never able to fully commit to working towards that goal. Hence, Mayor Paula is here. But what I have to say to you people, most of you, is when you look in the mirror tonight or tomorrow morning when you go to brush your teeth, if you do, I hope you take a good long look at yourself and think. There were some major situations when I was on council that you have to think long and hard on, but never once I can say, did I vote to throw anybody under the bus? And that's what I'm seeing right now. I'm seeing that people up here in front of me, and you did it to the DDA, you tore the DDA apart, and you're doing it now, just out of spite. And these are the exact same thing that you people were bitching about previous councils doing. And you're doing it just as good. So look in the mirror tonight real good and think twice about what you're doing tonight. And I hope that you have some second thoughts on it, all the way around.
Anybody else?
Billy Renshaw, 60 Florence. A couple years ago, I told this council right here, these guys are corrupt. None of you guys asked me for my evidence, so I turned it over to who I had to turn it over to. Is this the list that you guys got all the money for from Shalom? Is this everybody on it? Is that why you're doing all this? Well, good luck.
Heather Harper, 53 Ballman. I would just like to state for the record, I don't want to be here. I think most of us don't want to be here. Relax. We don't want to be here because this is you've already been voted out. I get why he wants his contract. Wouldn't we all like to be able to get extra money if we did something wrong? Of course. But why are you guys doing it? Why are you doing it? That's what makes no sense. It makes no sense to any of us why you would want to put all of us in danger. And that's what you're doing with this vote. You too are citizens. There's like 11,000 of us, and you're making a choice that if he decides that he's not going to do what he's supposed to do, he just gets away with it. Why are you putting that on all of us? We already work so hard and already pay taxes and do all of these things, and you're just not caring. You can't be that mad because you lost. Like, it doesn't make sense. You just can't be. So think about it. Think about it for us as the residents of the people who are here, who are paying our taxes all the time and care about this city and show up to tell you that we want what's best for Clawson. We all made a choice last Tuesday. And whether you win or lose, sometimes you have to be a good loser. That's just what you have to do as an adult. So as my 1 minute is left, I will wish you the best in your endeavors. And Ms. Mayor, I will pray for you.
Please do. Anyone else? Going.
Hey, this is the first time I've ever been here. I'm a longtime citizen. My name is Mike Grobel, by the way. I live at 1116 Key West, and I've, been in the city for 49 years. And I just was so disgusted when I found out that there's a meeting, and if I thought there was an actual something that had to be taken care of this week, it would make a little sense, but this makes no sense. I just ask you all to check your moral balance on what you're doing tonight. Thank you.
My name is Kate Rose Brissett. I'm not going to give my address. I don't think that that's appropriate to ask for in this type of forum. I just want to say that I don't think that we can start a meeting with a sermon and a prayer that no one asked for, and then continue to ignore the will of the people who voted and said, we don't want you making decisions for us. Like, did you not get that message? Was that mandate not made clear? That's why we're so angry. That's why we're here on a Thursday night. I left an early dinner with family to be here. I don't want to be here. I echo Heather. I don't want to be here. I didn't want to be here in May. I didn't want to be passing out door knockers against the special election that cost $25,000 that no one wanted because we had already voted on it. What you're doing is ridiculous. You know it. That's why you called it at the bare minimum amount of time to push it through before you leave. We voted you out. Please take the message and adjourn this meeting. There's no business to discuss. It should be pivoted to the next council who the people have elected. You guys are gone for a reason. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor Milan, members of council. My name is Adam Duberstein. I live at 1229 Gordon Court here in Clawson. Today, there's a deep divide that undeniably exists in our country. Sadly, our city isn't immune to it. I see it being played out right here, right now. In 2021, I wrote my doctoral dissertation on political differences, and almost 5 years later, the situation hasn't improved as we see tonight. I want to say that this current council could set the example for healing our politically wounded nation and community. I ask you to consider leaving a powerful legacy of partnership and collaboration. The current proposals as written do not reflect the legacy that I personally believe you are capable of delivering, nor does it reflect the example that I am positive you and only you can set. Mayor Milan, after about 5 or 6 months ago, I had the pleasure of talking with you after a council meeting. And when we spoke, we talked about our mutual love of Clawson and our mutual affection for the nuances and the characters involved in American politics. You're one of the few people I know who will admit, just as I will, I'm doing it now, that they enjoy following obscure yet consequential political races around the country, just as I am admitting it. We talked about how you, a Republican, and me, a Democrat, both rely on the teachings of our faiths to inform our political values. Although we may not agree politically, we definitely agree that civility, listening to one another, and the willingness to think about new ideas is what moves any situation and public servant forward. Tonight, you have the opportunity to bridge a bigger political divide, and I respectfully ask that you reconsider and vote no on these proposals. You can set the example for bipartisanship and collaboration right here in our town. Please know that your ability to help Clawson doesn't end here. New elections always open new opportunities. What I'm going to say is hard to hear, but I believe it to be true. Voting no on these issues before you allows you to leave a legacy of cooperation and bipartisanship. You have been blessed with an opportunity to set an example for public servants to follow by abstaining from making any appointments and by letting the new council set the terms of the future contracts and by allowing the new mayor to continue to have the same powers that you have exercised. So thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Is there anyone else?
Hello, my name is Allison King, and I live at 852 Curtis Avenue. I apologize, I was not going to speak today, and I don't have anything prepared, but I do feel very strongly about the situation at hand and would like to express my opinion. I feel that this evening we are going to discuss ad nauseum the contract, so I'd like to highlight other issues. The appointment of Mr. Mahmood to the DDA seems to be, what's the word? A conflict of interest, as he owns a great deal of our property downtown that is sitting unused, and putting him in a position of even more power does not seem very democratic, or does not seem like it's part of a democracy. I'd also like to highlight that, Mr. Shepherd, you are vying for Ms. Moffitt's seat, and the people of Clawson are here today expressing our concerns about this matter at hand. And if you're voting yes, it's really going to highlight how you oppose the people and the people's voices. The people have made a decision. The people have voted that they don't want Mayor Millen to make choices for us. So please stop making choices for us. Thank you.
Anybody else?
You know, all right, my name is Laura Montague. I live at 928 School Street here in Clawson. Been here since about 1998. I don't know the whole backstory about the Mean Girls and all this other BS that's been going on. What I am hearing tonight is people are very unhappy. What I'm not hearing is that it is illegal. So if there's something going on here that really shouldn't be allowed now or in the future, change the rules, people. Change the rules. So pardon me. You know what? That's just the way it is. You can sit here, you can bitch, you can go on and back and forth and still do all the name calling you want. But you must change the rules. And this is a lame duck council, a lame duck presidency. It really doesn't matter. They're still in the job and they can still do as they see fit for the city. And I will say that I do know several of the people that are being nominated for positions, and they'd be wonderful for the city of Clawson. It doesn't make them bad people or bad choices or anything else. Now, as far as the city manager goes, that doesn't sound like such a good idea to me, and I'll just add that. But, yeah, change the rules, folks.
Is there anyone else who'd like to speak for public comments for items on the agenda?
Hi, Karen Knutson, North Bywood. I'd like to thank you all for your service. It's been nice that you have served our city, and we don't always get along. That's part of it. And I really wish that you would have shown tonight what you have been lacking since, say, last year, ethics and integrity. By pulling this meeting, doing this contract, appointing people, when you were upset, Mayor Milan, when Reese Scripture did the same thing to you. Funny how that changes, correct? Yeah, you refused to seat George's to the tune of about $30,000 or $40,000, I think. Yeah, that was you. I was at that meeting, I watched. And so this goes back a long way with me, since you've been in office, that we have dealt with your poor decisions, and that you started out in the middle and you swung way to the other side during your term. It's one thing to be honest. You're not even that. You displayed that during the election, during the run-up to the election. I'm sorry, I didn't do it, you did.
Hello,
Hi.
my name is Douglas Mason, live at 205 West Tacoma Street. Newer resident, however, my grandmother has lived here for a while and I grew up in Clawson. I just wanted to say that as a smaller contingency of younger people in the city of Clawson that mostly follows things online, I think as you can see represented in a lot of the faces here today, this seems like an abnormally large turnout for a city of Clawson meeting. I would assume that means that there's some pretty conflicting opinions happening right now, and as someone who doesn't follow it too closely, I would say that it does bring to mind some deeply impactful things that people need to think about what they're doing. It's a little concerning to hear about a city manager getting paid if they don't do things correctly, and I just wanted to come up and say that there's a lot of voices that aren't currently represented today, but that did vote against a lot of things that are being brought up. So, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, going once.
We get somebody.
Someone's got it.
So Amy Pollitt, 826 School Street. I've never been to a city council meeting. I've never watched any, to be honest, but I did see this, and I wanted to say that I think it was egregious enough that you are doing this trick. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. So I wanted to come here and support the new mayor and let her know that I'm glad that I voted you for a reason.
Anybody else? Okay, last call.
Hi, Council. I also don't want to be here as a mom of young children, a business owner. There's so much to do in a day, and with 24 hours notice, to be up here and speaking to all of you and to watch the reactions of all the residents here. This is crazy. This is awesome.
Could you please state your name and address
Oh,
for the record?
Katie
Thank you.
Terrell, sorry.
Thanks.
So I'd like to express my concern regarding the scheduling and purpose of this special meeting, specifically the agenda items related to the city manager's contract and potential extension, as well as appointments to our boards and commission. While these are important, I believe moving forward with them at this time, just before a newly elected council is set to take office, undermines the integrity and transparency that our residents expect from our local government. This is a really big bummer to a lot of us. A lot of us voted for you guys. A lot of us wanted change over and over and over again. There's been so many different times that we as residents we expected more. We expect leadership that follows through. And has been mayor and city council people with the theatrics, the drama, over and over again. The trust has been broken. But what you do here today will show us as residents what you're willing to do going forward and the precedents that you want to set. Thank you.
My turn. Linda Hale, 940 West Selfridge. I want to thank the outgoing council, and I want to congratulate the incoming mayor and council. I also want to say that, so what, we had a special meeting. There's a good reason for it, I'm sure. And one of the reasons is, if Mr. Riker needs a new contract, I don't know about the contract, I don't know what's in it. I don't know if I agree or I disagree. But I'll tell you one thing I do know from watching all this is that the incoming council and the new mayor will do everything in their power to eliminate Mr. Riker. He's gotten, on his evaluation, zeros and ones and whatever, where he hasn't deserved them. I never felt that he deserved them anyway, and I've watched him through the years. And I haven't always agreed with him, and he knows that. But I've watched him, and I think that he's a good city manager. And I think that if there's anything to be said, if any monies are to be had, he's not going to mess up. He hasn't messed up so far. He's brought us along this far. He has. Look at how far we've come already. We've come a long way. We've got our infrastructure going on. We've gotten a lot accomplished. And I congratulate the whole council for that, all of you. And I congratulate Mr. Riker for that, too. I've seen us progress, and I want to continue the progression. And I haven't seen that the new council or the new mayor has said anything about not progressing. But I can tell you one thing, they obviously dislike Mr. Riker. And so I think that he should get whatever he's asking for. Hey, I don't care. You know what? It's my opinion. It's my opinion because I don't think that he's going to mess up. I don't think that he's going to turn around. He's not that type of person. I don't think that he's going to do something wrong. That's not him.
Point of order, people.
So, and the other thing is, you know what? It's easy to get people to vote when you're angry. People were really, really angry this time, and it was all about the special election. All right, yeah, good for you. Everybody got angry about the special election. You know who didn't get angry? The other people. So the people that didn't, no, the people that didn't vote, that didn't come out and vote maybe, were the ones that were content with the council. And so just remember that half the city was content. We'll all be watching. We hope for the best, but I don't see any problem with calling a special election or a special meeting.
Thank you. Can we remove the people who are constantly talking in the room, please? Sure, but
I was just asking everybody to be respectful, whichever side you're on, we're all here, make sure you go smoothly, okay? Just please keep your comments to yourself. I would appreciate that, thank you.
thank you.
Joel Rinkovich, I live at 133 Red Roof. I wasn't going to talk tonight at all. What's going on is unethical, at minimum. But I do have to say this. Based on the fact that Linda Hale was not prepared to speak on the things on the agenda and came up here, I think you should really reconsider her appointment. She didn't even read a packet for a meeting where she's being appointed. That's highly, like, I don't even have a word for it. It's disappointing and sad. And I really hope that you guys will really think about what you're doing tonight, because it is sad. It's sad. I don't have any problem with you, Mr. Reichner, myself. However, I do have a problem with paying someone, like if you did screw up, I have a problem paying him a huge severance for screwing up. I wouldn't pay the guy who cut my lawn money if he didn't cut my lawn. Why would I give a guy who didn't do his job money? That doesn't make any sense. Like, it's so illogical that it's an embarrassment to our city. Thanks.
Is there anyone else? Okay, thank you. We'll move on from public comment to a proclamation. We have a proclamation this evening for a young lady who is a Clawson resident who has been participating in a dance program, and this is part of what gets presented upon her graduation. So whereas Amanda Jane Hess is a Clawson resident and is the daughter of Kelly Hess and younger sister to Brooklyn Hess, and whereas Amanda has participated in the Zajac Polish Dance Ensemble, a Polish Roman Catholic Union of American Polish dance group, for the past 10 years to honor her Polish heritage, learning traditional Polish folk dance as well as Polish language and traditions. And whereas Amanda has participated in many dance recitals and performed at many festivals and fairs, sharing her love of dance, commitment to her Polish culture, and supporting charities in Poland and in the United States. And whereas Amanda's commitment to the Zajac Dance Ensemble will culminate with a graduation ball to celebrate her achievements and to acknowledge her year-round commitment to this program, which will highlight her training and service and increased development of social skills. And whereas Amanda Jane is a fine example of what it means to be a Clawson citizen and to exhibit the heart of this little city, demonstrated by her exemplary achievements and commitment to serving others. Now, therefore, I, Paula Milan, Mayor of the City of Clawson, do hereby extend congratulations to Amanda Jane for her hard work and dedication and for her scholastic, athletic, and community pursuits. Is Amanda here? I didn't see her, but there's so many people. Okay, I don't see. If she's not here, we'll make sure she gets the proclamation, but thank you for Amanda. Thanks for being a good Clawson citizen. We're going to move on to the business portion this evening. We'll move on to Item 8A, which is consideration of approving the following consent agenda. Our consent agenda
So moved.
consists of the minutes of the regular city council meeting held on Tuesday, October 21st, 2025, as presented.
So moved. Support.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Milan?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Moffett?
Yes.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd?
Yes.
Councilmember Anderson?
Yes.
Thank you. We've approved our consent agenda. We'll move to new business. New business begins with item A, which is discussion and consideration of the contract for the electronic sign at City Hall.
I move the discussion of the contract for the electronic sign at City Hall. Support.
Mr. Raker.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Please recall that upgrading and potential cost sharing for a new electronic message sign at City Hall was discussed at last year's joint meeting with the school district. Additionally, we budgeted $27,500 toward the project with the anticipation of potential partial cost sharing by the school district, DDA, and Blair Library. Those negotiations can be ongoing as the city needs a new sign regardless. There's a total of $343,000 reserved for the capital. That includes the IT improvements at City Hall, the marquee sign, city park improvements, and the park cameras, park security cameras. With the updated master plan focus for City Park, this estimate for the marquee would come from that $343,000 reserve. The Clawson Schools display is a Daktronics 6mm, and this would be our recommendation for ours, as well as it is a great way to future-proof our sign with today's rapidly changing LED technology. The cost per pixel is much lower on the 6mm compared to the 8, and the 8 compared to the 10. Also provided are the quotes for the 8mm and 10mm displays, as well as the breakdown showing how many LEDs would be on each 6mm versus 8 versus 10. 6mm display has 180 lines by 420 columns for 75,600 pixels. The 8mm display has 135 lines by 315 columns for 42,525 pixels per side. The 10mm display has 108 lines by 252 columns for 27,260 pixels per side. Should this council wish to move forward on this project this evening, the administration is recommending the 6mm display that has 75,600 pixels per side with a total cost of $98,743.14. This includes the demolition of the current structure, new foundation, and the fixed signage as demonstrated in the rendering. The school district sign was $106,000 in January 2024. And the Universal Sign Company competitively bid and won lowest qualified bidder the last 5 bids for the school district, 2 which included the Daktronics display. This quote is less than the school district's almost 2 years ago.
Okay, does anyone have any questions?
So the quote for the school, that was the, which sign, is that the one that's on Phillips?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, and as far as the ability for messaging compared to what we have now?
It is like biplane versus jet. I mean, it's a huge difference. The technology is, that's probably 15, 17 years old, the sign.
Maybe older than that, but yeah. Okay, so it's all red LED, right? Or
I'm sorry?
The sign currently.
I believe that might be like first generation technology.
Yeah. So, okay.
So the point of this is that this has been a project that's been brought up and championed, and in the rendering, you'll see it's bringing the major entities of the school district, the DDA, also the chamber, which I can approach for some potential cost sharing, along with the library, and the actual marquee will have them, and we'll message all the relevant events and announcements from all those organizations, and also the rendering will have a directional stationary sign directing people to the campus for the school district, which when there's visiting games, oftentimes buses are trying to figure out where to go.
So we will also have, when people come for a football game, they'll know to go to the park and not the high school.
And that would be a fair
Okay.
assessment too.
So, yeah, I mean, just for the mere fact that we have the ability of rendering additional information than what we have on our marquee that has more helpful, more useful information. Because one of the things that was I think it's a little too late now, but we had the open house for the school last week. And I know that they had broadcast that on their sign, but, that's mostly on Phillips. So it was not as prominent as it could have been if it was something that we had shared out in front. So the amount of money that we spent for that bond, for the improvement of that school, I think we had a lot better turnout. And it really commend the school district for what they did and what they used their money for. And I think the changes are wonderful. So if we can do this in concert with the school district in order to help get better information out there for everybody concerned, I think that's a good thing.
So it's my thought that whereas it might be legal to approve this at this time, it is premature. We don't know who's going to be making additional contributions to it. So this should be, the approval of this project should be tabled until we know what other committees, what other groups are going to contribute towards the cost of this, so that the city's money is protected with understanding what other entities are going to contribute to it. So it's incredibly premature to discuss this today until we have all the information about what the DDA, what the school, what the library is going to contribute from their budget to the cost of this. So we can't make an intelligent decision about approving this because we don't have all the facts yet. So this is just premature to discuss this time.
Mr. Ricker, how would you make those calls? Thank you very much.
So we need the sign regardless, like I mentioned. And I think that seeing the rendering and knowing that the city's moving forward is a greater, greater incentive for the other supporting organizations to want to buy into, simply because they want to be a part of it. I don't think that the city council, if only they gave X amount of dollars, we could have done the 6 millimeter, but now we're just going to do the 8 millimeter. I think regardless, it behooves us to swing for the fence and get the best one for having to have branding and parity with the school district. The school district has done the heavy lifting. I think that our partnerships with the DDA, the library, the chamber, and the school district, I believe they'll provide some type of earnest investment.
And I believe elected officials are going to do what they're supposed to do, and we know how that turns out. So I think that it is inappropriate to move forward on a hope that other groups are going to make a commitment, because the city ends up paying the bill for this fully if we don't get contributions from other people's budgets. So it's inappropriate to move forward with this until we have all the information about who's going to chip in.
Mr. Riker, would the contributions from the other departments be nominal in that, you're not looking for a full equal share
No,
in all
so-
of these portions? Because
The $27.50 that we came up with was basically off of the 106 roughly, and we thought we'd have like 4 partners, and hey, maybe just for planning purposes, we'll split it 4 ways. But at the end of the day, the city needs the startup anyway for it, and we would just simply be, it would be some type of earnest money. It would have to be, they'd have to have skin in the game. At the same time, we're not gonna, I don't think that they're gonna be like, no, you already have it, and just put up our stuff anyway. We have the ability to, it doesn't, even if they did, which I don't think they will, the city has a need for the sign, so.
So would you move forward with the sign if the other entities didn't want to budget those
Yes,
dollars
I
towards
would.
the sign?
I still would.
Correct?
I still would, but I believe that the investment we've made in the last 2 years of building this partnership will pay off.
That's the council's decision if you move forward, not the city manager's decision. It's the council's decision to approve that.
I believe we have a
And they
council
shouldn't,
here.
they shouldn't be approving it unless we have all the information, which we do not have today. And that's our responsibility, to approve things based on information.
We have a motion. Do we want?
Just
Just
for
discussion.
discussion.
Yeah, it's for
That's all.
discussion, sorry.
That's all it is.
Do-
If the
are we-
council wants to move forward, someone please make a motion. If they don't, then
Yeah, so I would like to make a motion that we investigate further as far as what the cost is and finalize our plan for a sign at the location that has been pointed out for this contract.
Not the cost.
I'm sorry. So what I'm saying is that I want to make a motion that we move forward with this plan and get the other input from the other entities that may have part of this process.
So are you saying in your motion that it moves forward?
Oh, I absolutely want to move forward. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Move
So
forward, please.
Move forward, that we continue to investigate what the sign itself, right, and the location and the partnership with the school district. So I'd like to make sure that we move forward with this.
So to clarify, just move forward by investigating it, which doesn't necessarily require a motion. A motion would be to purchase it. The discussion is whether we're going to purchase it or not, and the motion would be to purchase it. We don't need a motion to have him
We
continue to
have
investigate it.
$98,000, right? So we have, right, the total cost, $98,743 is less than the school. I want to make sure that we have the process, make a motion that we move forward with the sign. So if we can purchase it, that's great.
We can outright purchase it, but I'm confident that I can negotiate some type of earnest contribution, whether it's one time or it's on an annual basis. Not each organization has the capacity to, the chamber doesn't necessarily have the capacity to invest in the capital, but maybe it'd be easier for them to do, for promotions, do an annual installment of, say, $1,000.
Yeah, so again, the motion's on the table, or is moving forward as far as the purchase of the sign.
To approve as
As
the
pres-
option, the 6 millimeter for $98,743.14.
The $98,743.14, which includes demolition of the current structure, new foundation, the fixed signage is demonstrated in the rendering. I think that's my motion.
Second.
Okay, any other discussion? Roll call, please, Michelle.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd?
Yes.
Councilmember Anderson?
Yes.
Mayor Milan?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Moffett?
No. Okay, we've just agreed to authorize the city manager to purchase a sign, as previously noted. Moving to item 9B, we have consideration of the appointment of Linda Hale to the Zoning Board of Appeals for the unexpired term to expire December 31st, 2026.
Madam Mayor, I move the consideration of the appointment of Linda Hale to the Zoning Board of Appeals to an expired term to expire December 31st, 2026.
Second.
Any comments?
So in our packet, it says Diane Smith.
Yeah,
It's not.
it's wrong in the packet, but
Okay.
it's on the agenda as Linda.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and again, so this is a reappointment, so the term has not expired yet.
This is a vacant seat.
It is a vacancy.
How is it a vacant seat?
This is a seat that has nobody in it, hence it is a vacant seat.
Is it because someone left or someone resigned, or why is there a vacant seat on the ZBA?
Michelle, which one was, we have several, so I'm not sure which are which. at
I
this
can touch
point.
on that one.
Thank you.
So Mr. Hildebrandt filled that seat, and a little over a month ago, he resigned, and so that's the seat that's open right now.
Thank you.
And so that's not one of the alternates, so the ZBA has 5 members and 2 alternates, that is not one of the alternates, that's a sitting member on the board.
Okay, thank you.
Does anyone have any other questions? Mrs. Hale's here, if you have any questions for her. Otherwise, roll call, please.
Councilmember Shepherd?
No.
Councilmember Anderson?
Yes.
Mayor Milan?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Moffett?
No.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Thank you. We have just approved Linda Hale to serve on our Zoning Board of Appeals. Linda, thank you for your service to our community and your willingness to serve on the Zoning Board of Appeals. I'm sure you will enjoy it. Item 9C is consideration of a reappointment of Jennifer Perkins to the Zoning Board of Appeals for a term that expires December 31st, 2028.
Madam Mayor, I move for the consideration of the reappointment of Jennifer Perkins to the Zoning Board of Appeals to expire December 31st, 2028.
Second.
Any comments? Jennifer currently serves, and she's agreed to continue in that seat.
So I'll ask again, as far as just making sure this is expiring in December, right? Oh, I'm sorry, right, so this is not a vacant seat.
She's getting reappointed.
Okay.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Anderson?
Yes.
Mayor Milan?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Moffett?
No.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd?
No.
Well, next item we have is item 9D, which is consideration of reappointment of, we're taking that one off the agenda, sorry. Skip 9D. We're going to item 9E. We have consideration of the reappointment of Nate Hara to the Planning Commission with a term to expire December 31st, 2028.
Madam Mayor, I move for the consideration of the reappointment of Nate Hara to the Planning Commission with a term to expire December 31st, 2028.
Second.
Any comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Mayor Milan?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Moffett?
No.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd?
No.
Thank
Councilmember
you.
Anderson?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry. Okay, so we just approved Nate Hara as a reappointment for the Planning Commission. Nate, thank you for your service. Item 9F is consideration of the appointment of Aaron Hale to the Planning Commission to the unexpired term to expire December 31st, 2026.
Madam Mayor, I move for the consideration of the appointment of Aaron Hale to the Planning Commission to the unexpired term to expire December 31st, 2026.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions, concerns? Mr. Hale's here as well, if anyone has any questions for him. Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Moffett?
No.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd?
No.
Councilmember Anderson?
Yes.
Mayor Milan?
Yes. Thank you. We've just approved Aaron Hale to serve on our Planning Commission. Aaron, you will love it. It's so much fun on planning. Item 9G is consideration of the appointment of Vince McBride to the Compensation Committee to the unexpired term to expire July 1st, 2028.
Madam Mayor, I move for the consideration of appointment of Vince McBride to the Compensation Commission to the unexpired term to expire July 1st, 2028.
Support.
Any questions? Okay, roll call, please, Michelle.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd?
No.
Councilmember Anderson?
Yes.
Mayor Milan?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Moffett?
No.
Okay, thank you. We have just approved Vince McBride to serve on the Compensation Commission. Vince serves on a couple of other of our boards as well. Thank you, Vince, for committing more of your time to the city of Clawson. Item 9H is consideration of the reappointment of Joseph Marucci to the Downtown Development Authority to the expired term of October 31st, 2025, for a term to expire October 31st, 2029.
Madam Mayor, I move for the consideration of the reappointment of Joseph Marucci to the Downtown Development Authority to the expired term of October 31st, 2025, term to expire October 31st, 2029.
Second.
Any comments? Roll call, please, Michelle.
Councilmember Shepherd?
No.
Councilmember Anderson?
Yes.
Mayor Milan?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Moffett?
No.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Marucci, you're here somewhere. Thanks for your willingness to serve on the DDA. I'm proud to be able to reappoint you. Thank you for your hard work. Item 9I is consideration of the appointment of Hikmat Mahmood to the Downtown Development Authority to the expired term of October 31st, 2025, for a term to expire October 31st, 2029.
Madam Mayor, I move for the consideration of the appointment of Helmut McPoo to the Downtown Development Authority to the expired term of October 31st, 2025, term to expire October 31st, 2029.
Second.
Okay, any questions or concerns? Roll call, please, Michelle.
Councilmember Anderson?
Yes.
Mayor Milan?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Moffett?
No.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd?
No.
Thank you. We have just approved Hikmat Mahmood to serve on our Downtown Development Authority for a term to expire October 31st, 2029. And then moving on to item 9J, we have consideration of a resolution approving a contract amendment for City Manager Joe Raker.
Madam Mayor, I move for the. Oh, wait.
Could we please remove the talkers?
Madam Mayor, I move for the consideration of a resolution approving a contract amendment for city manager Joseph Raker.
Second.
Mr. Raker.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. My original contract was for a 3-year term that started in March of '22 and then ended in March 2025. On October 3rd, 2023, the City Council amended the contract for 4 years, taking it to March 2029. I am requesting the following. Contract extension of 2 years, which will extend it to March 2031. Payout of military compensation days at the end of my employment or upon my retirement from the reserves. This is not currently in my contract. Increase sick leave payout from the current 65% to 100% to have parity with the treasurer's contract. Change the for-cause termination clause payout to match that without cause clause. This will include the MERS retirement financial contribution as well as that year counting towards vesting. The city to be responsible for any shortfall of financial contribution and time toward vesting should a termination occur prior to my vesting in January 2027. This extension will facilitate continuity of the administration through the next 2 elections. So there's been some consternation in regards to the term of for cause or not for cause, and if I may put the city attorney on the hot seat for a second, we did talk about this at length, and he had some issues with the term of art, as he referred to it, in regards to the for cause provision. And so I am, if there is language that this council can consider that can get to my concern, and if we need to take a walk down memory lane in 2018, we can. I'm open to those considerations, but I'll turn it over to you if you would like your permission, Mayor.
The thing that I would say is that typically we've bandied about the term for cause in this chamber before. And obviously previous councils, iterations of council have taken action against city managers and other employees when they had additional employees above and beyond the city manager. And we've gone down a path of attempting to define from the council seat the term for cause. That's usually what I indicated to you, Mr. Raker, is that that's usually a legal term of art that we engage in. We haven't always hit the mark as far as I'm concerned from council's perspective. But obviously, council will make the determination as far as the content of your contract and what they deem appropriate with respect to termination and how they assign how they allocate whatever blame, so to speak, for purposes of cause versus not cause.
So what typically, from a legal perspective, has standing for a for-cause termination?
Oh, well, that's a broad term that we would obviously, that I don't know that I can answer that question fully here for purposes of today. I mean, there could be a plethora of factual circumstances that could lead to that.
Yeah.
And our charter has some indication, obviously, when it says, when it talks about, convictions and the like, right?
Which I would not be entitled to those things should I break the law or be found guilty of some egregious act.
Not for purposes of felony, no, but, well, are you talking about the actual compensation that you seek?
Correct. And I'm willing to put a clause in there to specifically carve those things out if that's what everyone's concern is. I'm not looking to make some intentional mistake or line my pockets. I'll carve those things out. But I am not going to have a repeat of 2018 where a city manager basically was, micromanaged by this Diaz and eventually drummed out of town.
Could you please state the difference for the public, what the differences are in the contract that exists today between for cause and not for cause, the termination terms?
Well, for cause,
I don't mean the definition of it. I mean what the.
My contract
The
right now.
contract states, what the contract already allots for.
my apologies, I don't think I have, do I have that? Give me 1 second, I'll pull it up real quick. So the for cause currently states, any termination for cause shall be immediate by the council, including but not limited to the event of employee's conviction of any illegal act, i.e. refusal to comply, conviction of fraud, embezzlement involving personal gain, not carrying out provisions of agreement, et cetera, right? And I presume that et cetera is, we have it there because there's a plethora of factual scenarios that could apply, right? That could add to the for cause. We could almost never be inclusive of all the terms in an agreement such as this. Without cause, Section B states, termination without cause by either party giving 90 days notice shall be termination in good standing and shall entitle the employee to a lump sum payment equivalent to all accrued vacation and sick leave benefits. He shall also receive severance pay in an amount equal to 1 year's salary and benefits if he is terminated without cause within the first 3 years of employment. The following years will be reduced to 6 months' salary and benefits if he is terminated without cause. If employee is terminated for cause, he shall receive a lump sum payment equivalent to all accrued vacation and sick leave benefits. After 3 years of employment, he shall no longer be entitled to receive severance pay and benefits if he is terminated for cause. Right? So the two of them combine.
And cause would include things like if there were certain goals and metrics established for him and he failed to meet those goals and metrics, that would be a for-cause termination.
Right, and you are correct, ma'am. There would be for cause. And our previous history, unfortunately, I guess the comment that I made to the city manager was with respect to previous history, where perhaps, in my opinion, as an attorney, that attempt at defining for cause for purposes of a public meeting where the city manager was let go, obviously not the city manager, previous city manager was let go, was less than artful from a legal perspective.
Agreed. No, but at the end of the day, failure to meet expectations of your employer in general is considered a for-cause termination.
It certainly could be that, absolutely.
So I'll tell you straight up why I support some sort of a modification to Mr. Raker's contract. It's because I've sat here for 8 years, and in those 8 years, the first year, people wanted our city manager, Mark Pollock, gone, and they played to ensure that he was gone. They created a list of measurables, deliverables that they demanded that he act on that was 3 pages long. I don't know. 8 pages long, sorry. It's been a long time. I try to forget the bad parts of this experience. But we experienced that. We experienced another city manager who was just called one morning by our former mayor and walked out the door for no reason. And then we've had, I don't know, the number was 6 or 7 that came and went in a short period of time, extremely short period of time. Getting a city manager to want to come to this community, as lovely as it is, with such lovely people who are here tonight, really difficult, extremely difficult when you have people who are not necessarily, who want to do what they want to do. And I think this election and what we've seen on the dais for the past 2 years tells us that a willingness to work well with others is not necessarily in the cards for Mr. Raker. And I think we as a community have worked really hard. We as a council have worked really hard to put stability back in play here. And I think if we have an open door that would basically cost us $250,000 on a probably small scale to exit our city manager out and bring someone else in, I don't think that's money well spent. I'll put that up against that $25,000 that was spent on a city election that was to allow people the opportunity to voice an opinion. I would put that up any day. So I'm asking for some sort of something. In this, he's getting ready to carry on 2 additional people that he's responsible for with the broadened council. He has taken on additional responsibilities by serving as the administrator for the DDA, and he's done an exceptional job at that. And he and his staff, because he didn't do it on his own, right? This has been a team effort. He's assembled a solid team. I think most of us in this room would say our city is far better today than it was 4 years ago, and we are on extremely solid footing, and we want to maintain that. We will not maintain that if we start the cycle of open-door city managers again, and I don't trust that that won't happen just by the conversations we heard here tonight. People are entitled to their opinions. They're entitled to their passion. I have no problem with any of that. I take every hit you want to throw at me. I've done it for 8 years. I'll take it in perpetuity. I don't care if it's truth or not truth. You guys get to be you. But berating someone whose professional job, this is his professional job. This is not his, I'll do it on Tuesdays for not a lot of money for fun job. And you guys should respect that. And I feel like that might not be respected, which is why I would like to continue this discussion and see what we can do for him. But I also have another question. In that statement you just read, it says, after 3 years in a contract, he's no longer due. Can you go back
Yes,
and read that?
it kind of whittled down the poison pill over time, and the way this is written within the language of the contract, that poison pill would go the duration of the contract extension. So the for cause thing, I understand is a hangup. I'm willing to find some kind of middle ground to do those carve-outs.
Well, I think my problem is I've seen for cause in this environment not at all be for cause. So that's troublesome to me. I think, we want to talk about metrics and ensuring people get evaluations that are fair based on metrics. That's the word we like to use. But those can be twisted and can be used against a person. And I'm 100% for someone being responsible and having to do their job and not having an escape clause. I don't have an escape clause. I'm required to do my job and proud to do it. But I've also worked with Mr. Raker for a few years now successfully, and I know he's extremely proud to do his job. And I think there just should be something here. And what are other people's thoughts?
Madam Mayor, as far as you're saying middle ground, what are your thoughts?
As far as the carve out for the
Because I agree, the fact that we've seen it before, that there's been specific items that have been tried to be put upon you that are next to impossible to try to achieve. Like, one of the things that comes to mind was the limiting water main breaks. Like, how is that supposed to be something that right, the only way that you could possibly do that was rip out every single street and rip out every pipe, and therefore not have any water main breaks? That's a concern, right? That type of stipulation is saying, yeah, guess what? Right, we're gonna put out we're gonna require you to make a ham sandwich, right? Oh, we didn't specify how, we didn't like it, and so it didn't meet the specifications that we wanted, right? But that's not in your purview, right? So that's where I want to make sure that we understand where we are with a strong city manager, weak city council, right? That we're not in your day-to-day, right? Yes, there should be some strong metrics, but they're not trivial, and they're not specific to the point where, guess what? You didn't meet these, and so you're out. And that's what we saw for prior to you coming here, we had, what's the count? 6 city managers that went through this?
total with.
So, but anyway, but my concern is that, where do we land? And I don't know where that is. I don't know.
The most fundamental obligation of elected officials is to work with integrity and protect the city and to respect the voice of the citizens. None of these provisions are in the city's best interest. They perhaps are in the city manager's best interest, but they are not in the best interest of the people that are here tonight and the people that voted and the people that pay taxes for the city.
Ms. Moffitt, you started that so great because you said one of the greatest obligations we have is to work with. And if I thought on any stretch of an imagination that you had the capacity to work with our city manager, I wouldn't even test this.
The majority of the people in this community believe that I am the person, not you, who's best postured to work with and respect the voice of the people of this community. That's the voice of the people.
I hear those people, and there's not a world where anything other than this room. Your behavior in this room has been
Don't do it.
has been.
Go ahead. This is her swan song.
This actually isn't my swan song. I have a great swan song prepared later. You guys should sit around and wait. I am going to say that if I trusted that you would work with, we wouldn't have as many issues. But we have it on tape time and time again that you have refused to work with. And the people who support you also refuse to work with, and it is incumbent upon this council, the next council, and the following council to ensure the stability of this community, and a roaring open door of city managers in and out will not provide stability for this community.
There's nothing about this meeting tonight that suggests.
Whoever's talking, could you please take them out?
There's nothing about anything that's happened tonight in this meeting that suggests that you are willing to work with anyone or put the interests of the city first.
Oh, you're an asshole.
Yes, Mr. Raker?
Can the city attorney elaborate on like a for cause, these legal considerations?
I'm sorry, Mr. Raker, could you start from scratch? I apologize.
Yes, so these legal considerations, whatever it may be, stealing, embezzlement, you name it, whatever they would be, that those are things that would not be, that I would not be able to, that would not apply to that provision. I'm willing to carve those out, the legalities of sorts. The
One
specific-
stated in your contract. Obviously, excuse me, obviously the content will depend on council as to what parameters they set with you if they agree to anything. But yes, you could. I mean, obviously you could.
So could you help us develop that carve-out to put, I don't want anyone walking out here thinking like the city manager can be a felon and then we're going to stroke them a check on top of it, because that's not the case at all.
Yeah. Obviously, the drafting of the agreement will be done, we can take a look at whatever you've proposed to the council and make the amendment thereafter. If what I'm hearing you correctly, you can take the portions on your contract, right? Everything that's stated in here, and I don't know what else you seek to add to it, but you can add that shall not apply with respect to, the addendum shall not apply with respect to anything that is listed on Section 4A of your contract, which talks about any illegal act, refusal to comply, conviction of fraud, embezzlement involving personal gain, not carrying out provisions of the agreement, which means this agreement, but then you have an et cetera in there.
And I think up until that, it covers everything, and the et cetera you obviously are going to need for interpretation for whatever circumstances may be, but it very clearly would demonstrate that the city manager is not allowed to commit an illegal act and still get paid or anything of those such. But, to take on a council potentially that's going to not exactly be welcoming or adversarial, this is a provision that I think is necessary to maintain the continuity of administration that has put this community on a progressive path towards rehabilitation, reconstruction. So
I think the comments that you just made, making the assertion that the incoming council is adversarial, speaks to your lack of desire to work with the incoming council more than anything that those potential people who have not sat up here yet and had very little interaction with you have presented.
Maybe I give you too much credit, but I think you have some pretty strong influence on those folks, and you and I don't exactly have the best history, so.
And so it is incumbent upon you to be willing to change your behavior to yield to the new criteria that the community is asking for and the new council is asking for. That's the obligation of an employee.
No.
What's the criteria?
No, what I have.
Is the et cetera? That's my concern. right? As far as, it goes back to making a ham sandwich, you need to make one every day for everybody in the city,
It was-
right?
it
Or you
was-
didn't do it.
It was
right?
Binkowski that suggested that the water mains be a metric. I agree, that's not a realistic metric, but there are other realistic metrics that should be put in place, and the city manager should be held accountable for. That's how you really judge performance, is setting realistic goals, not squishy things, but realistic, very clear goals and objectives to be accomplished, and then measure against those. And that's what's being opposed, the prospect of working under the same conditions that most of us all work under every day, that we have employers who set obligations for us, and we are obligated to meet those.
But what would be out of bounds?
Pardon?
What would be out of bounds as far as the metric?
I have no idea. I'm not the entire body. There are 6 other people that were elected, or they're going to be sitting up here making those decisions, and that's their responsibility. That's what the people put them in place to do.
It's unfair to state that he didn't have guidelines and that he didn't have measurables to perform to, because as you know, we did have those.
I spoke out at every single one about the inexact nature of those goals and guidelines. There were no measurables, there were no specifics. That's old history. We already went down that path. But the fact of the matter is, change is coming, and there's a new approach to the council and how things are going to run. That's what the community voted for. That's what they wanted. And you can choose to work with the new council, or you can choose to continue your adversarial approach to it. And this is purely an adversarial approach that puts the city in jeopardy, and is a smacks of lack of integrity from everyone up here and your request for it.
Ms. Moffett, it's really a stretch for you to judge anyone's integrity up here, given your own. So I think we'll stop with that.
So
now, we have a motion on the table. Do we have a motion?
Still
Would you
discussion.
like to make a motion?
What I would like to know, sorry, what I would like to know is, the city manager does have some cause for concern, and I think the residents also do, based on what we have had for past history. And I've said it before, right? The fact that if you do not listen to what's happened in the past, you're going to recreate the wheel, and you'll always remain behind as far as what the right decisions are. And I do not want to go back to what happened in 2018. Those were times that cost us, and they cost us money, and it cost us momentum, and it cost us reputation. So the fact that we had a city manager who was willing to come in here after all of that and have the progress that we've made, the solidarity behind everyone that's in city administration, including everybody in DPW, and moving forward, I think we need to solidify. That part of it, I am very, very concerned
As
about.
was when Mike Smith was fired, that you advocated for firing him, and I voted against. So it's not just in 2018. You were a party to getting rid of people that, same circumstances.
I did
Exact
not
same
have a vote on that, and you know that.
You did not have a vote, but you advocated for
I
his
only
firing.
said, Matt.
You advocated for his firing.
Mayor Pro Tem, if you're going to engage in that, I shared my experience. That was it.
You
That was it.
engaged, you advocated for his termination.
Did I say that?
I don't remember word for word,
I
but I
didn't say
remember
that.
you speaking.
I didn't say that, did I? I didn't say it.
remember you advocating for his termination.
Okay, where are we? Pardon me?
Mr. Raker.
So if the contract extension, I don't know, I'm not necessarily willing to change that. The pay for military compensation, I often use most of my military days annually anyway, but in the event that I'm terminated, what little is left on the books, I would like to be entitled to. I'm not asking for a pay raise. My duties and responsibilities have increased. And the change for cause termination, if we can make a reference to the section 4A, that may tighten up the language to at least address like, hey, you're not going to be a felon, Mr. Raker, and walk out of here with a severance.
Yeah. The other thing, too, is that we also sign ethics that anything that we do that is cause for, whether it's DUI or something like that, we will be removed from this dais.
Well, I'm not sure.
doesn't say that.
I do remember
We had that.
conviction ordinance we considered. Yes. But, and I was pushing for that because I'm held to that standard.
Yes.
But everyone else here isn't, and so it didn't get, and so be it. I mean, that was the will of the council, and we let it ride. But at the end of the day, I'm held to a high standard, and I also have 30 years as a military officer, as a captain in the Navy. I think my credentials check out. My service to this community and country is sound. But I can understand people's concerns as far as it says in there. If we reference the section 4A in regards to the for-cause termination, I think I'm willing to make that concession to address those issues.
Okay.
The sick payout is a minimal increase. It's not a annual type of thing. It's to have parity with the treasurer, who has that in her contract.
Yeah, for that seems that needed to have been corrected before. That may have been an oversight. But, yeah, that part of it. But as far as, if we can tighten that up.
Can we simply reference the 4A reference, the 4A section in regards to, I mean, it basically is in there. It's just, I think, on its face when read to the public, I understand. They would think like, okay, yeah, he could be a felon and he'll walk away. But even the way it's currently written, that's not the case. However, maybe within the addendum, we simply add that language referencing that specific line already in there. Can we simply do that?
May I, Madam Mayor? Yeah, if council agrees, obviously, yes, we would change the contract to do exactly that.
So as far as, what would that require from us right now?
I imagine you would make it.
Make an amendment to that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, what's the discussion?
Can we have less talking in the back, please? It's hard to hear up here. Thank you.
How are we going to word it? It sounds like an amendment to a motion.
And Mr. City Manager, City Attorney, if you could back me up here. So simply adding to the amendment language in regards to the for-cause termination, reference the section 4A, just add reference section 4A and that line in its entirety. It's redundant.
No, I would say if council is considering that, the council would say something to the tune of purposes of the addendum termination, which is 4D. I'm sorry, simply letter D. We would, in your motion, you would make an amendment to say that that section is subject to the contractual agreement, section 4A.
Or could we just strike the word et cetera from clause?
No, because this, what you would want, Councilmember, the city manager is stating that 4A would continue from the original agreement, right? And that would be the for cause. And if he is terminated for cause, as outlined in 4A, then he would not be entitled to the payout. So we simply want to make sure that this cause right here, the D, termination of the addendum, reflects that reality. The cleanest way probably to do that for purposes of your motion is to say that, the section D is subject to the original 4A in the contractual agreement between the city manager and the city of Clawson.
Which simply states basically the egregious acts.
Correct. That's what you're offering, I believe.
Yeah, that's my offer. Everything else intact. It's a reference to those, I think, quite obvious ones where I wouldn't be entitled to that.
But is this where okay, so I can agree with the change in sick pay, the military compensation. But as far as the total amount for cause, that's my concern. So,
Okay, so then I believe in the original contract, it had 1 year, and for 1 year without cause and 6 months
6 months.
without cause, and then it eroded over the course of the initial contract. So I'd be willing to do the same thing for the entire contract. The 12 and 6.
okay. So then that's just that's continuing and not nothing's changing with that, other than respect to that it's not eroding anymore.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's staying in effect through 31.
Yeah.
So we're looking for an amendment to a motion. Let me take a stab at a draft. Clause 4D will be subject to 4A. Is it that simple, or is it a little more?
4A in the original
Just D.
contract with the
Addendum,
city.
you know, section D to the addendum,
Addendum.
subject to 4A in the original agreement.
Okay. All right. I move that the contract be modified, that 4D in the addendum be subject to 4A in the original agreement.
Second.
And that includes, that's in addition to as presented, just for absolute clarity.
They're voting on the
Yeah,
amendment.
amendment. All right, thank you.
Okay. A roll call, please, Michelle.
Mayor Pro Tem Moffett?
No.
Councilmember Scott?
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd?
Yes.
Councilmember Anderson?
Yes.
Mayor Milan?
Yes. Okay, so that changed, that added an amendment that said, repeat it.
4D, the addendum, would be subject to 4A in the original.
Okay, thank you. And now, next.
Well, are we going to vote now on the original? Is that the?
Go ahead.
Oh, so are we, I'd like to, are we getting ready to vote on the basic amendment, and the basic motion?
We did the amendment, so now
Yeah,
we'll go
we
back
just-
to the original.
And the original, so. So, I don't, we can discuss this a little more,
Thank you.
you know. I don't want to be here either. I didn't want to be here 4 years ago. But there's a reason I ran. I didn't run willingly. I have never desired a political career. I was recruited. I was made aware. I lived here 25 years and became aware of the chaos in City Hall. As already has been discussed, multiple city managers being hired, fired. That creates chaos. You don't have to be a municipal law expert to understand that. All of you in the workplace, you get it. If people are coming or going, it creates chaos. It creates demoralization among the employees. And I said to myself, yep, this has got to stop. So I ran and I got elected. And then the real struggle began. We need to get a new city manager. I'll be honest with you. After the chaotic behavior of previous councils and mayors, I was concerned that with our reputation here in Clawson of chaos, that we'd have a hard time recruiting a decent bunch of candidates to apply for the job. I was very concerned about that. And some candidates were brought forth, and I was shocked and pleasantly surprised at Mr. Raker. As I listened to him talk and I realized his accomplishments, he didn't go from being an enlisted sailor to being an officer captain in the U.S. Navy by accident. It took a certain amount of competence to do that. I know I spoke with one of our citizens. They said, you know, you need to challenge the city manager to do better. I thought on that for a while. I thought, you know, I don't need to challenge him because he challenges himself. He comes in here and does the best job every day. I've worked in the auto industry about 37 years or so. I've helped launch 7 vehicle programs. I've seen good management, and I've seen not so good management. I can tell you, observing Mr. Raker, he's done an excellent job. I've been very much at peace with how he's run the city. Is he sometimes a pain in the rear? Absolutely. Does he tick people off sometimes? Absolutely. That's what you do when you're in charge. He has to manage about 50, 60 employees. And if you're a manager, you can't always make everybody happy.
Madam Mayor, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, Councilmember. Madam Mayor, we need to be germane to the issue at hand.
Right.
There's a motion on the table.
I think this is germane.
I think it's germane because there's a lot of angry people in here. And they want to know why in the world I'm doing this. I think you deserve an answer to that, sure. So that's why, if you allow me, Mr. Bouchard.
You don't need to get permission from me, sir. It's simply, we cannot be talking to the audience. You're speaking to your colleagues, the council, and we need to remain within the germaneness of the motion, which deals with the contract of the city manager.
Okay. All right, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to you. All right.
Just to check.
So, just to check.
I
So,
got it.
No, just the
You're
chair.
good.
You're just the chair.
oh. So that said, I've been very impressed with how Mr. Rakers handled himself. I know before this meeting, I received numerous emails. All of them were negative. And as long as I've been here for 4 years, I've gotten a lot of emails that are kind of negative. And, and the new council members, they're going to find that out. And every time I read these negative emails, I say to myself, are these people speaking for the citizens? Or are they really speaking for themselves? I know we talk about the majority of the citizens want change. Well, about 3,000 people voted, about 6,000 did
Point
not.
of order, I mean, we need to be discussing
You're
the
not-
motion.
This is my meeting. He's
But
fine.
motion-
Robert
He's
Rules of
discussing
Order,
something. You can
Robert's
start
Rules of
Robert's
Order
rules next week.
allow anyone to call point of order when point of order is not being maintained. I'm calling point of order because point of order is not being maintained.
And I'm overruling because I can.
I'm,
It's part of Robert's rules.
And,
Don't think it's funny. It's part of Robert's
That
rules.
is not part of Robert's
Yeah,
rules.
I-
It is your
you're trying
responsibility
to
to
silence
maintain the
me? Are you
order
trying to
of the
silence
meeting.
me, madam?
It's your responsibility to maintain the order of the meeting and keep the speaker on topic.
Point
and
of
you're
order.
not
It
doing
I
is
am-
on topic.
I'm very much on topic. We are looking at the extension of a contract of a city manager. It is germane to discuss his performance. If he was a bum, I'd say, no, maybe you should fire him. But he's not a bum. He's done a very good job. And frankly, the city needs him. Some of you may not appreciate him. I'm sorry, some people in the city may not appreciate his efforts, but I do. And again, when I receive input from emails from our citizens, I ask myself the question, are these speaking for all the people or for themselves? I'm pretty sure they're mostly speaking for themselves. And in this meeting today, my God, we got like 60, well, at least 60 to 70 are on a little more negative bent. But I, as an elected citizen, or as an elected council member, I have to represent all 10,000. I have to look after their interests. It'd be better if we had greater participation in terms of the election, but that's what we got. So when you elect somebody to council, when a council person is elected, they don't just owe their constituents their vote, they owe them their judgment. And so by being elected 3 years and 51 weeks ago, they said, okay, Councilmember Anderson, we're looking for your judgment, and I'm giving it now. In my opinion, Mr. Raker's done an outstanding job. He's done good, and he's getting better. That is why we need an extension of his contract to ensure the stability that's been so valuable these last 3.5 years and not return to the chaos of the past. I'm kind of shocked that there sometimes is a little bit of amnesia about what things were like 4, 5, 6 years ago. I know I've listened for weeks, months. People come up and they basically treat the council with disrespect. and accuse us of crimes, things like that. And it's the First Amendment right to do that. But again, just because you've got some of that doesn't mean those views reflect our 10,000 voters, 11,000 citizens. So that's my judgment. Take it or leave it, better or for worse. I will support this contract extension, and I'll do it happily. I'm concluded.
Thank you. Anyone else? If I hear any more speaking, I will ask that you be removed. If you see anyone speaking back there, please remove them. Thank you. Now, do we have a motion? Is someone going to make a motion?
We have, the original's on the floor.
Okay, then we're good? Rehash what we're doing, please, and then we will vote. Michelle, what do you have?
I have that the resolution will be approving the contract addendum with the amendment to Section D to be subject to include Section 4 of the original, 4A of the original contract. Does that sound right?
It is correct. Yep.
Okay.
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Oh.
You've already done that, right?
Do we have, we're now voting on this, correct? As is?
Yes.
All right.
We did have a motion and support.
We did. And we can do it again.
No.
You had who supported?
We had a motion of Councilmember Anderson in the beginning and Councilmember Scott. And then we've included this amendment into that first motion.
Yeah.
Correct.
So we're voting on that first motion with the amendment.
Correct.
Are we ready? Yes?
Well, Madam Mayor, I move that we,
No, we don't need to.
We've already done
it's already-
it.
it's on, okay,
Yeah.
well, I'm sorry, then wait for roll call. Okay.
Mayor Milan.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Moffett.
No.
Councilmember Scott.
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd.
Yes.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Thank you. We've just approved contract. What else? Okay. Next on our agenda, we have unfinished business. Do we have any unfinished business? Good answer. And back to public comments for items not on the agenda. If you're here and you'd like to speak something we have not yet discussed this evening, you're welcome to join us.
Jamie Gills, Tucanochee. I return to the podium to formally acknowledge the vote you've just cast. With 4 days left in your term, and at a special meeting with only 24 hours' notice, you've decided to, again, ignore the concerns of your constituents. I find it laughable that you would say all the people that showed up here do not represent the citizens when y'all thought 10 people telling you to have a special election was a representation of Clausen. Nobody could give me a number more than 5 or 10 people. And rewarding a city manager or any employee with a promised payout if they don't do their job, that is ridiculous. It's fiscally irresponsible. You all get up there and talk about how good you are with our money. Really? Because, yay, maybe he's been doing a great job. He doesn't have to anymore, does he? What's the incentive? He can walk away with $250,000 was that number that was thrown out. I have never seen a capable employee terrified to be held accountable for their job. So I have to wonder why that might be happening now. I also wonder if all of this is legal. I wonder if you have the authority to do it. And you can be assured that me, lawyers, and other people will be looking. And the behavior up here tonight, especially you, Mayor Milan, doing things because you could, at least you finally admit it. That's why you do it. You don't do it because you love the city. You don't do it because you care about us. You do it because you can. So thanks for clearing that up for us.
I'm Kate Rose Brissett. I won't give my address for reasons I've already stated. Sue doesn't need my defense, but Sue is a longtime friend of mine, and I would not be living into my values if I left this room without addressing the way that I saw her treated by Mayor Milan this evening. It's ironic that you would call into question her integrity. I have never seen anything but the utmost respect, even when she dissents. In this body and in her personal life, again, she is a friend of mine. I find it rather ironic, or actually maybe irony is dead, that you would be the one to call her out on that. When you sit up there and blame the constituents for the reason that Mr. Riker needs a golden parachute in his contract, no, we expect our people to do their jobs. If they're doing something that isn't appropriate, then they should be fired and they should not be paid. I don't get paid if I don't do my job. That's already been said. But I just want to say that I think that what's been represented here tonight, particularly from you, Mayor Milan, and I'll look you in the eye, that's fine, is what we like to call a narcissistic extinction burst. And I'd like to read something. A narcissist gets their attention and accolades from, feeling as though they're revered in a group, a public, a constituency. And an extinction burst occurs, it's a dramatic escalation in manipulative or abusive behavior that occurs when a person with narcissistic traits or narcissistic personality disorder is no longer receiving their desired narcissistic supply. You were voted out. You have no reason to care anymore, and you've showed us that you don't. Why would you call a point of order? Because you can. Thank you for showing your true face. This behavior is often a temporary, desperate attempt to restore the pattern of control and engagement that previously worked. We voted you out. If the 6,000 people that you say support you had felt strongly enough to come out and vote for you, Mr. Anderson, Ms. Milan, any of you, then maybe you'd still have your seats next week, but you don't. And this desperate, shady attempt to push a bunch of your friends through, it's not a good look. We'll remember that. So you can cloak yourself in scripture all you want, but I'm pretty sure Jesus would be appalled.
Linda Hale, 940 West Selfridge, just came to say goodbye and thank you for all of your good hard work. And I do wish the next mayor and all the city council the very best, and I hope for your continued success in bringing our city along, because we love this city. Obviously, everybody here feels the same way, whether or not they're angry. I think that what I really want to say too is that I think that this has been a terrible election. There's been a terrible smear campaign. I've been so sad. I've had to leave groups on social media. There were people that I thought that were up and coming in the city, that I respected, that were moderating these groups, and they allowed terrible things to be said, not just about the mayor, not just about city council, but for other people within the city, and good people. And they posted them over and over and over again. And some people have left. My family actually asked me not to accept any positions because of all the vitriol and all the hate that's been going on in this city. I thought about it, but I don't know. But I just want to say that I'm hoping now that the vitriol and the hatred will stop. And just remember that if your supporters are on the internet spewing this hatred towards other residents in the city, because we're all residents, the mayor, the city council, we're all residents, we're neighbors. And if they continue to spew this hatred and all of this towards everybody, then it's on you, because they're your followers. You have the ability to stop it and to say, hey, Let's be better, and I hope that you will.
My name is Karen Waddy. I live on Goodale Court. I'm not going to give my address out. I fully support Paula. I love Paula. She's come to our church activities every time we have them. Nobody makes her come. A friend of mine took a picture of her at the fire station, and she had to caption the picture. Paula didn't tell me to take this picture and post it because of all the negative stuff. And I do want to say, having a balloon in there in case you get fired because somebody over you is going to fire you is a good idea. The job I'm at now, if my boss had not changed who she is, I have a new boss now, I wouldn't be at my job. I would have gotten fired because for 2 years under Biden's administration, I had to work with their transgender. I had absolutely no rights. Whatever I said, my boss, you guys had your say, I have my say.
She was respectful to you.
So I do have a fear. I did have a fear for 2 years of losing my job. No matter what I said, I was wrong, and the other person was always right, and my boss took their side. Had I had this balloon thing where they were going to pay me out if I lost my job, they would have treated me a lot better than what they did. So for 2 years, I had to worry about not having a job. It was only by the grace of God that I have a new boss, that I've kept my job, and I've got my job. So I understand perfectly well with that. And I just want to say, I love you, Paul, and I'm sorry you're leaving. I truly am. And I voted for everybody up here on the council, and I'm sorry you guys are all leaving. And this is only like my second or third council meeting I've gone to because of my job. And no, I don't want to be here tonight either. I got to be up at 4:30 in the morning to go to my job tomorrow morning. But I am here to support Paula. And we all have a First Amendment right to speak and say what we want to do. But come with that comes consequences, too. If you don't like somebody, fine, you don't like him, but you don't have to sit there and talk negative about him and dog him either.
What about your transgender coworker? You talking negatively?
I wasn't talking negative about anybody. I worked with the person. I'm the one that went through hell and back working with that person.
Thank you.
Oh, my gosh.
My name is Brent Wellman, 63 West Tacoma. Like a lot of people here, I'm pretty much speechless. So I guess I'll just use my time and try to express what I'm feeling. Mr. Scott, I'm sorry you weren't here long enough to have an opinion of your own. Ms. Moffitt, thank you so much for everything that you do and for speaking up, and I'm so thrilled that you're going to be our mayor. Mayor Milan, Mr. Anderson, thank you for your time that you've been here. You know what you did was wrong. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Mr. Shepard, I think that your explanation about all of the other voters and all of the other residents of the city, it doesn't hold water. If they had an opinion, if they wanted to express it, they could have spoken up. They could have been here. The people that voted made it very clear what they wanted, and it's unfortunate that you chose not to listen to that, and I hope you don't think that that seat on the council that's being vacated by Ms. Moffitt should be yours. I wish you all the best of luck, and make better decisions.
Scott Manning, you don't need my address again. Again, I want to thank you all for your service. I'm disappointed in some votes. I'm happy in other votes. But I want to challenge us as a city that we have to work at reconciliation. We have to put the petty nonsense, or as my mother would straight up say, drop the bullshit and get to the goal so that we can move the city forward. I urge some of the outgoing as well as the incoming folks and our city manager to seriously consider some strategic planning and bringing folks from both sides of the table together. If we want to move the city forward, we have to work at it. And my other challenge to council members, former council members, new council members, don't pigeonhole people into a position of saying they're adversarial or hate an individual when you haven't heard them or allowed them to participate in action. I believe there's much more that we can do to bring the city forward. We've done a lot, and I'm appreciative of everybody up here for that, because without all of you up there, we may not have gotten to where we are today. A new chapter's coming, But that new chapter does not negate the work of the previous chapter. It needs to add to it. And I hope the next chapter that we have brings us far closer to civility, to where we're not beating somebody up because they have a different view or a different vision. Clawson is not, it's not a one-stop town. We've got people of varying different views and ideas, and we all need to come to that table together if we want this to really be the city with a big heart.
Anybody else? Okay, we will close public comment and move to, oh.
Hi, I'm Nate Hara, Park Drive, 413. And I guess I'll just add my gratitude to each of you, including the city manager and city attorney for these last years. Sorry. Is this any better?
Not really.
Sure. I came into this period 4 years ago at a very similar situation as this, and it was traumatic. And I guess the biggest thing I want to say to everybody behind me is I felt just as outraged as you at the time, and I had no idea how much I didn't know and how much perspective I lacked in voicing an opinion. And if I could go back 4 years ago, I would have been a lot more humble about what I didn't know. I think that everybody's asking the same question these days. What has changed about Clawson? I don't recognize Clawson so much, and it seems to me that the brick and mortar of it, if anything, is getting better. I think the stewards of the city have kept the streets clean, the sewers as maintained as a 100-year-old sewer can be with the money that has been provided. If you look downtown, there's been improvements from every board and commission that's been part of that. And they're not done. I think many properties are going to be improved in just the next year with the Burger King project and PNC, and many of these issues have drawn attention from me and others, and I want to recognize each and every one of you for working together to make those as successful a projects as possible. And I know it wasn't easy. There's been short-term rental ordinances that not everybody agreed with that were refined, that I think ultimately protected a lot of the residents. And I guess I say all of this to say that I'm proud of your work. I think it has been more good than bad by far. And the vitriol in the social media channels, I think, has been really the biggest thing that has changed. The aggressiveness and hatred and the backstabbing and the harassment. If I had one wish, it would be that would slow down a little bit. I really hope it does, because it could make room for so much better discussion about what really needs to happen. The truth is, I think everybody's so concerned about who has the power, and that's what always the conversation is about. That's what every instigation of argument is about, is will this multiply one party's power or subtract from it? And so many of you are caught up in this game. And I was once too. But humble your hearts, please, and make sure what you're doing is really making it better for the neighbor across the street from you.
Time.
Thank you all so very much for your service. God bless you all.
Thanks.
Wally, other one Hendrickson. A lot of talk up there about working with. And I noticed our mayor made it a point to say that Mayor-elect Moffitt doesn't do that. Well, all I can say is I sincerely hope that the new council, the new mayor, will work with Riker. I also hope that Mr. Riker will work with them. I think, my personal opinion, what I'd like to see Mayor Moffitt and Mr. Riker stand up behind there, shake hands, and say they're gonna do it. You know, get along. Because if you guys fight with him, and he fights with you guys, nothing's gonna get done. All right? So do it. That's it.
Char Larson, 2164, Princeton, Troy, Michigan. I've been a volunteer here going on 27 years. I've watched so many things going on, you can't believe it. I want to thank everybody who's sitting up here, including Michelle Rennis, Nick, of course, Mr. Riker. I have admiration for everybody because you've done a lot. So much has been done in the last few years. I've watched terrible things happen in the time frame that everybody said. Not only the firing of city managers, but wonderful, gifted employees with knowledge and loyalty who left because they could not work in that environment. I don't want to see what has gone on in the last few years change. Sue, I am hoping that you and your new council will work together with everybody and will come out even better. And I pray for all of you because you've done a lot. And in the last few months, the hatred that has been put out on Facebook is horrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. And it's got to stop. This is a little city with the big heart, and people are against each other. This cannot continue. Thank you, everybody, for what you've done. We want to continue to build on everything, and God bless all of you.
Anybody else? Okay, we will close public comment, and Michelle, do you have a city clerk report for us?
Just one quick report, just update on the general city election. We did end up with a 32% turnout. And our canvass for this general city election will be complete. And tomorrow, I'll pick up the results from the county, and they'll be included in the packet once we get them for the organizational meeting.
Awesome, thanks. Any questions for Michelle? Okay, thank you. We have Mr. Nushai, before you start your city attorney report, may I please ask you to explain to the public when this council's term ends?
The organizational meeting.
Thank you. So was this an appropriate meeting, or was it not an appropriate meeting based on that fact?
I would not use the term, legal term, that's not legal terminology, Madam Mayor, but it is an appropriate meeting for purposes of a mayor can call a special meeting.
Thank you.
You are the mayor.
Were we within our authority, being an active council until the organizational meeting, to do any of the things that we did this evening?
Ma'am, this is a valid meeting of council, duly noticed. You're acting, you can have a meeting, have votes, do all the actions that you've taken.
So the accusations that were made against us this evening for being dastardly and doing horrible things are unfounded?
Madam Mayor,
Not a legal term?
That's not a legal question, ma'am. Ma'am, that's not illegal.
I'm asking you as our, well, I won't ask you because I would never expect an answer from you. You never fail me in that.
Yes.
What would you have for a report for us today?
Nothing for this evening, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. City Manager's report, Mr. Raker.
Not much. Thank you very much, Council, for your support on this contract amendment. I am willing, Mr. Wally, that was a fantastic suggestion. Mayor-elect, if you'd like to stand in front of the flag and shake hands, we can do that.
We can, although you did shake my hand on election night, and I hope to see you working with the council.
Mayor, I know you want to end this meeting on a positive note, I just want to let you know that we do have the new snowflake display that we can share at your remarks.
Go
At
for
our
it.
remarks.
You have them?
Oh, no, wait, I was teeing off handing back to your remarks
Oh,
whenever you wanted to.
regarding the snowman, the snowman?
The snowflake.
Snowflakes? Okay.
Yes.
So, part of the collaboration with the administration and the DDA, commitment was made to purchase new decorations for downtown for the upcoming holiday season. And I thought it would be great to share what these are in this forum because it's positive and it's something I think we're all really proud that we're able to get moving. And you're going to be so excited when you see them lit up and hanging on our light posts. And I think there are 36 or something of them. Is that correct?
With the heart. That's awesome.
And the artisan is Frank Gannon.
It worked in rehearsal.
Broke it.
Oh my gosh. You got it.
Because I'm touching it.
So many thanks to the DDA, our administration, Mr. Raker, Kristen Urbanik, and Mr. Ganad, who designed these for us. And they are one of a kind. There's going to be a few different ones, and it's just going to be something spectacular to see in downtown Clawson to make people smile when they go by. And I was really proud that we were able to do it, and I want to be part of the showing it off because it's something wonderful. And that is a result, really important, a result of collaboration. And I think that's what we've worked for, what we've worked towards, and what we've been working for is to find ways to collaborate, to make what all of us do, what all of our administration does on a day-to-day basis, all of our boards and committees and our school district and all of that work together. I think we can all be really proud of the collaboration that we've formed, and I'm sure they will continue, and things will be positive moving forward as well. But now I'll let you have your report. Mr. Raker, if you'd like to have a report.
I have nothing else, ma'am.
Oh, all right. Then, city council comments. Ms. Moffett.
Mayor Pro Tem Moffett speaking. I would like to, from the bottom of my heart, thank you everyone who gave up their Thursday night to come out and speak your mind. That is the most fundamental part of democracy. Our city had the 4th highest voter turnout in Oakland County. Your request for change was heard, and I promise that going forward, these meetings will be different.
Councilmember Scott.
I just wanted to say it's been an honor serving the city for the past few years as on Planning Commission and for at least a short time on council. It really has been an honor. And, you know, my whole family loves this city. I know everyone out there, everyone sitting out here loves this city as well.
Yes.
So, you know, like it was said earlier, I think by Mr. Manning, you know, this vitriol has to stop, you know. I think if we sat down and had some dinner and, you know, had a chat, we'd find that there's more in common than there is difference between us. But at any rate, I just wanted to say it was an honor serving this little city with a big heart that I love so much. And I just lastly want to say, you know, God bless the city of Clawson and everyone that lives and works here.
Nice, thank you. Councilmember Shepherd?
Just, it comes to mind as far as that this has been a privilege, that for someone like myself, that they've had the honor of having people support me throughout the time of my previous election, the current election, and my time served, that I can convey no greater gratitude for the people that have supported me throughout all this. But I also want a gratitude for everybody who did show up tonight, right? This is the thing that makes me proud of our community. Whether you agree or disagree with any part of this, that you're participating. And that's the greatest thing that I would like to see happen in the future. I'm proud of the fact that we were the fourth highest. It's not high enough. Unfortunately, apathy was still on the ballot. And I wanted to make sure that everybody has a voice so that everybody can be heard so that we have every perspective when we make our decisions. But again, I appreciate everything that this community has afforded me and my family. And again, thank you.
Mr. Anderson.
Well, it's been an honor and a privilege serving the last 4 years. I want to say that it was a little raucous today, but we have our disagreements. And I think it's very important as you go through life that disagreements don't turn into disrespect. As much as I might disagree with some people in this room, I still respect you. You're still a part of this community. The community I've lived in for my family 29 years now. And I'm glad to be here, and I plan to stay much longer. Again, thank you.
Thank you. And for me, it's been I've spent 12 years in this room in some capacity or another. 4 years on the Planning Commission, and then I joined City Council on a mission, and my intent was to be there 4 years and get out. And I was there for 4 years, and then they needed someone else to run for mayor, and I did. And I didn't think I would win, and I did. And then 2 years later, same thing happened. Didn't think I would win, and I did. And then I was reticent about running this time, and I didn't win, which is fine. My life will go on. I want to thank mostly my husband, Dave, and my daughter, Alyssa, and Nick. My daughter Alyssa and my son Nick, for their support, because this is a full family thing. Sitting in these meetings is the small part. Engaging with the community is the big part. And engaging as a community is the part that was fun for me. I may not have run the best meetings ever, but I let people talk when they wanted to. For those of you who had comments to make on Facebook and didn't have the comment courtesy to do it in person, I forgive you. It's okay. And for the rest of you who supported me and will continue to support me, I will take my treasured friendships with me and the beautiful memories that I've made with me. And I am proud to support this city. And I'm also hopeful that the incoming council will do great things too. We're all different. We do things differently. Doesn't mean we're all right or wrong, but if we don't work together, nothing's going to happen. So I just am praying that there's collaboration and that continues. And then that's it. Mr. Raker, thank you for being a good partner with me in this. Thank you for going beyond where we started off, which was not in a good place, and for giving me credit to be better and to serve this community, because we never would have moved this community forward had we not done that. So I do have hope for you and Ms. Moffitt, whom I was friends with at one point too, and she has some really incredible skills and some really incredible things. I'm hoping all of those come to play, and I'm hopeful for Clausen. And I want to thank all of you for everything, every time you've supported me, and for everything you said that was positive. And even when you chastised me, I thank you for that as well, because you molded me in some way or another. And I am extremely proud of my service here. I ran a clean campaign. I'm extremely proud of that as well. And I will walk out of here with my head high and my shoulders back, and I will have fond memories. And the thanks goes to all of you. This is a job that is not done on the backs of one. And for every person who supported me, and there are so many, I made such precious friends in this process. I will always support you. And just Clausen is a really unique place. And what we're doing to each other right now and what people are doing to each other online is disgusting. I don't understand it. There's nothing to be gained from sitting in this seat except working together. You don't take home any money. You don't take home much praise. You don't take home anything. So what you walk in with, hopefully you can walk out with. I walked into this room a little nervous, well, a lot nervous, a lot scared. But I'm walking out with confidence, and I'm walking out with pride, because I hope I made, if not you proud of me, God proud of me, because that's all that really matters. But with that, I'm going to ask for someone to make one more time a motion to
adjourn.
Thank you. And everyone, thank you for coming tonight. I know this was semi-painful for some of you, but it's government at work. Thank you for that.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Scott.
Yes.
Councilmember Shepherd.
Yes.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Mayor Milan.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Moffitt.
Yes.
Meeting adjourned.